Grand rising to all of you. Welcome to Wednesday, Health and Wellness Wednesdays on the Daily Huddle. And today we speak about all things health, wellness. Well, not all things, because that would be too long of a show. But in general, we talk about the things that hopefully make your lives better and hopefully make you a little healthier, a little more well, as we say. Today is a conversation. I know for those of you who've seen the title, and maybe some of you haven't seen the title, we're talking about how to come up with the perfect routine for your body, for your health and wellness. I use the word perfectly very loosely because there is no perfect. However, I have a guest today. His name is Clark Maddox. And Clark Maddox has been on a journey, a really interesting journey. And I've been on the journey with him. So I said, you know what? Let me bring Clark on this and let's talk about the journey. Let's talk about how it has affected him. And let's talk about some of the pointers because maybe it can help somebody else. I say that in the way of, there's nothing common about Clark, but Clark is a human being going through everyday things like everyone else. So I take him as someone that's not necessarily in the health business or a coach or a runner or somebody who's like specifically, this high level expert in one area. I picked him because he is a guy who's going through life and wanting to make himself better through his health, through how he takes in food, through how he does the things around him a little bit better. So I wanted to take this to a level where we can just speak to somebody that did it in a way where he did change what was going on. And his dog's walking around me. He did change it. There's been some noticeable changes based on what he's done to change the game up. So please welcome to the Daily Huddle, Mr. Clark Maddox.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Yes, indeed. Clark, you and I speak all the time. And before we get started, just tell people a little bit about yourself and your journey. Just a little bit. Like give us like a quick Dun and Bradstreet.
Dun and Bradstreet, I like that. Yeah, so first of all, I'm a thankful person, right? And what's amazing about, our conversation today, like I said, we do talk about things like this all the time. But, it's just when you look around and sometimes I feel like our friendship is kind of like a Seinfeld episode. We talk about just the leaves on the tree sometimes. We talk about just the things that people really don't see. And it's amazing when you have people that are supportive, such as you, and you've given me, I'm gonna turn to me in a second, but you've given me advice on health. For years and years and years. And I maybe frankly, I didn't hear it, or maybe I didn't want to hear it.
Right.
Maybe I didn't want to deal with, some of those, those facts. But a little bit about me. I'm a 58-year-old man. I have two daughters. I have a 20. I'm gonna just get to a point. You'll know a little bit about me. I have a 26-year-old daughter. She just had a baby, and I'm a grandfather. His name is Austin Blue. She lives in Oklahoma. I have a 15-year-old daughter. Her name is Cheyenne. My oldest daughter is Carla, and she lives with her mother in Victoria, Texas. She's 15 years old. So I have one more, 3 more years in terms of her turning 18, and I'll be by myself. I can actually kind of move a little bit because I've been in Texas for quite a long time, and my youngest daughter's here, and I've never left Texas. So there's places that I want to go, things I want to do. It'll give me a little bit better opportunity to do that. So first of all, I'm a father first, which is, I'm very thankful to have that opportunity. It's a great title. It means a lot, and there's always going to be some challenges on both sides of that fatherhood. There we go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I know you know the answer to this, but one of my most prevalent questions to Clark Maddox over 10, 15 years is what?
How's your health, Clark?
See, being right, I didn't even have to lead you. I just said that one thing. Clark, how's your health? Clark, how's your health? And the reason why I said that to you in the first couple of times is because I saw you on camera one day and you looked kind of like um wider and more ballooned out. Specifically one day. I remember it very well. And I was like, wow, okay. And then I started asking you, how's your health? And I wanted to do it in a way that I felt was caring, not coming at you. And we got through it. Like we used to talk about it, like this and that, whatever. And I'm you used to say, I'd be like, Clark, how's your health? My health is great. Oh, what'd you have to eat today? You'd be like, some juice, some salads, a couple of apples. And you would say it like in a funny way. And I'd be like, Clark, what did you really have? You're like, oh, I just had a breakfast sandwich at McDonald's, or, you know, whatever you said. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. And at the time, I was raw vegan. So you were like, man, you know, you're doing this thing, doing that, whatever, whatever. And at a certain point, I don't know what happened. Oh, okay, I know what happened. And I want you to talk about this. When you were making a decision whether to have an operation or not, tell us what happened in your mind, that nugget that stopped you. Remember what you said to me?
Yeah, let me just I'll make a real short, quick backstory.
Okay.
So the reason I haven't got to the point about making a decision, because I feel that we all should make decisions, right or wrong, live with your decisions. But my wife and I had decided, you know, it was time to get the divorce, and I was on her insurance. So I decided, I said, let me go to the doctor. I said, let me just go there and find out, you know, what the hell is wrong with me, find out, you know, what I could fix or whatever, you know, medically before my insurance runs out. So I decided to go to the doctor, and the doctor, they did my blood work and all that. I'm a type 2 diabetic, high blood pressure, you know, that stuff. So he said, well, you might want to consider getting a gastric sleeve. I'm like, what? I'm not getting a gastric sleeve, whatever, right? So I thought about it for a couple of days. I said, you know what? I said, maybe I ought to just at least hear him out, you know, and see if I could get it. So it turns out that I decided to go drive from where I live. If you're familiar with Texas, from where I live, which is South Texas, to Corpus Christi is about 2.5 hours. Drove there, met a doctor. And we was maybe 4 or 5 of us. We met in the receiving room. He talked to us about the pros and cons of getting a gastric sleeve. And what I kept hearing over and over again, not to even mention that you got to meet with him 12 times before you can have the surgery. Ooh. And in my case, there was a crunch. I had to rush everything because insurance was running out pretty quick. You got to meet with the doctor 12 times, psychological, do all your blood work, blah blah blah. So he kept mentioning, you have to eat right. You got to eat right before the surgery. You got to lose a certain amount of weight before the surgery. You got to eat right after the surgery. And, I'm a salesperson. He kept just saying it over and over again. I was like, I mean, wait a minute. I'm going to eat right before surgery, okay? And then I'm going to eat right after surgery. I said, but I'm not eating right now. I said, why am I going to eat right? I don't even know how to eat right. How am I going to eat right after the surgery? I'm going to fail. So, and I started thinking, man, I said, I'm going to allow myself to get cut open. I'm going to allow myself to die on the table. I said, why don't I just eat right all the time? So that's when I became more receptive.
Right. That's the light bulb moment. You telling me I got to eat better before surgery and after surgery, and you want to cut me open? Hold up. And there you go. Right. Like, I'll make a decision right now and let me just do my thing naturally. And I commend you for making that decision, because I don't mean any disrespect to anyone who's had the surgery, because it's personal. You're going to do what you want to do as a person for your body. I respect that. The thing is, now let's cross over to the fact that you didn't have the surgery. Do you remember what you weighed at that time?
I know the exact numbers, everything. So I went to the doctor, had my blood work done, and I weighed 298.
Okay, 298 at that time. Okay.
And when I got on the scale, I didn't realize, because sometimes you look in the mirror, your own personal mirror, and the light's a certain way, and you turn to the side. I don't look that bad.
I'm good. I'm sexy. Golly.
Yeah, that's
Um,
servitude mirror.
so you so you did that, and I know you and I talk frequently. What was the turning point when you did that and you made that decision, and you and I started talking about juicing and fruits and you know the advantages of seeds and nuts and butters, and we started getting into that deeper. Did you feel like when you started to change, was your body talking to you like, yeah, this is what we should be doing? Or was it like really hard in the beginning to, not eat that burger and fries or not eat those tacos or whatever it was that you were doing? What was the, like when it turned, what was the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, impetus. All right. So again, everything happens with me. So there's always a backstory. Anyway, quick. So I'm at a restaurant that I go to, and so I see this lady. She's the owner. She's always nice, very kind. And man, I looked at her. I was like, wow, you lost a lot of weight. So we started having this conversation, and she told me that she started this diet called the boiled egg diet. I was like, boiled egg diet. I was like, does it work? She explained to me, yeah. And I got a copy of it, and I started doing the boiled egg diet.
Right.
So that's how it started in terms of me. I started doing that, and I started seeing some changes just by doing that. So then I started talking to you more, and and you started, I mean, you told me to watch a couple of videos. I started watching the videos, and then once I started watching the video, I started listening to what was being said about fruits and berries. So it wasn't really difficult for me to change. But once I started seeing how practical it was to juice in the morning, to pick your nuts, and do more of a fruitarian type of situation. And I actually love the way that stuff tastes. After I started doing that, and I started and then you get personally involved. You start, and then I started going to the grocery store, and I started looking at the names of different fruits. The jackfruit, I never knew what that was. Star fruit, I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what a dragon fruit, I didn't know what that was. And as you start going there, that like now I go and I actually stand in front of the fruit, and I'll Google it. What is this good for? What is this good for? And once I started making my own juices, getting personally involved and being accountable, then it became real.
Right. And I enjoy, I have enjoyed, I still enjoy the excitement that happens when you talk about it. Dudes on the phone, they're talking about stuff, this, that, and the other. You and I talk to you, you're like, dude, these pumpkin seeds. Oh my God, I have no idea that with the da-da-da-da. Oh my goodness, can't believe how much I'm loving XYZ. And I'm like, yeah, and you had said it to me before I said it to you, like, you've been talking to me about this for 10 years. All of a sudden, I see something completely different. It was like when my dad stopped smoking. He goes, man, everything I own smells like smoke. This is a terrible smoke. And he changed his whole perspective like in a month. And I was like, wow. And that's one of the reasons why I brought you on here, because of the perspective of this particular conversation where, and now let's give you your flowers. From the moment you were talking about the surgery until now, and your change in your everyday consumption of food, how much weight have you lost?
I've lost 47 pounds.
47 pounds. In how much time?
Since June of this year.
Since June, 47 pounds. And this is happening continuously. It's ongoing. It's still happening more and more and more and more. And I remember asking you, what, 47 pounds? Bro, if I lose 47 pounds, I have no clothes.
Right.
Right? So when you said I lost 47 pounds, I was like, well, what about the belt? Or what about what pants are you wearing? What's your size now? What are you wearing? You were like, oh, I just switched the belt, or I just, make it tighter, whatever. And I'm like,
I add a hold.
So what I want to talk about now is, let's go right into some specific things. If you could give us 4 or 5 things that you consume voraciously now that you didn't before, tell me what those are. That's the question, part number 1. And part number 2 is, tell me how water has been more of your friend than it was before.
All right. So now that, I guess, I got your advice kind of so the information's out there, look for it. So I started following certain people, and you kind of, when you start following, the health game,
Right.
people have different viewpoints on everything. Okay.
Everything.
On everything. So I kind of, I figured out a juice that I like. There's a green juice that I make, every week. I make it basically has celery, organic celery, uh, has cucumbers, it has 7 green apples, it has the cayenne pepper, it has parsley, cilantro, lemon.
Yep.
Okay. So then I make that green juice. Since I'm diabetic, it helps me, go to the restroom a lot. It gets that sugar out. So I make that green juice religiously.
Right.
And there's another juice that I make. It has um, beets,
Yes, that's my
watermelon.
stuff.
Do a lot of watermelon. And since I know maybe where you're at, you can't get watermelon, but here I can still get watermelon. Matter of fact, I have 4 big watermelons in my house. So I make the green juice, I make the beet juice, I make a like a turmeric and ginger orange shot in the morning. And then now I'm kind of, looking at different things. So I'll try something out differently. Like the other day I tried out the purple cabbage and the blueberry.
Right.
So I'm trying. I have my juices, and I get a lot of my juices, a lot of my water back to water from my juices. So watermelon, it's 98% water, and then of course I got all the melons that I can follow up with. So I get a
Right.
lot of my water just from like today. I think I have 3 juices that I'll have today. Still have the watermelon. Then I'm going to have Brazil nuts. I'm going to have my pumpkin seeds. And then I have an array of nuts that I do. And I never really check my blood sugar too often. I mean, I went to the doctor on a regular basis. I do that religiously, but I never really watch my blood sugar. Now that I've lost, considerable amount of weight, I'm looking at my blood sugar, doing my looking at my weight, looking at my what my blood pressure, sugar, that kind of thing. So I'm kind of monitoring it, because you're excited now because you know that what you're doing is actually working. So again, just have the juices. You got to have your meal plan every day. Like since I go out and do my work, I always have my lunch. I have a portable lunch with me. And then the thing you got to really watch out for is what you're going to eat when you're on the road or whatever, because those are where the slip ups happen. But even when a slip up happens, you got to get back on that train, and you have to realize what the final goal is going to be.
Yes, sir. Great answer. Great answer. I'm going to throw you a curveball here because we're humans and things happen. What was the last time you ate something that was completely out of the box from your new plan? When you ate it, were you like, oh God, this tastes so good, I haven't had this in a while? Or were you like, why did I do that? I feel terrible now.
Oh yeah, I mean that, but it happens. It happens maybe once in a while. Like
Oh, couldn't it happen recently? Anything, nothing recently?
yeah. I mean, it happens like I don't really like I'm really I'm cutting back on meat tremendously. I mean, like meat in general, but this week I've eaten a little bit more. I ate a little bit of chicken, which I'm not even. I'm that's in my future. I don't see chicken there. I mean,
Okay.
I see more of a fruitarian
Right,
type
right.
of lifestyle for me, but I'll eat chicken here and there, and it doesn't like the thing that gets me about the chicken is I know, the types of chickens that are out there. What's pumped into the chickens. All that farm raised and all that stuff. You don't know exactly where the chicken comes from.
Right.
So I mean, in the back of my mind, I know I'm eating it, but I know that what I'm eating, I'm taking a chance. So I'm looking more towards the fruitarian. I like the fruitarian type of lifestyle.
Correct. So technically speaking, when you had a slip up last time, you just got past it. I was asking you that question specifically because I have a very specific way of eating. And when I go outside the box,
Oh yeah,
my body's like, oh, what was that? And then it lets me know right away within the
yeah.
next 5 hours.
I'll give you one. There was a time where I think I had I think it's mahi fish,
Okay.
and they call it ceviche.
Right.
Ceviche.
Ceviche. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I was like, man, I'm on point. I'm eating the right stuff or whatever, and I ate too much.
Right.
Because again, that's you're eating too much, and then when I ate it, and then I started having like a the acid reflux, and then I woke up and the bile from your stomach went up to my throat, and it how it burns. So I ate too much.
Wow.
Yeah, it happened. So I ate too much of the mahi mahi, even though it's not it wasn't it's not like pork, it's not like that, but I ate too much of it. So
Correct.
just being mindful and not eating too much.
Right. Right.
Something we should be aware of as well.
And you were then called to the porcelain god.
Yeah,
Come hither, young man.
I had to take. I think I took. I think I did Pepto Bismol or whatever, but it cleared it up quick. But I was
Right.
like, oh, don't do that again.
Yeah. So I knew I would love this conversation. Does anyone have any questions for Clark Maddox on his journey? Because I'm just proud of you, man. I'm proud of you that you are focusing on your life and wanting to be better and wanting to eat better and wanting to get more education about it. And if anybody has any questions, please let me know right now, because you may have a question or two for Clark. And I'd love to,
Hey, I got something I could say. I think you said something earlier. This is good for everybody. I think when you said earlier that how you would ask me about my health, I think this is just my opinion. I think when you asked how my health was, I mean everybody, I think people know we know the difference between right and wrong. And I think when somebody asks you something which is very positive about your health, and you're like, in your mind, you're going, I know I'm not eating right. I don't need you to tell me that I'm not eating right. You didn't tell me I wasn't eating right.
but you got mad at me though.
Yeah, but
you were like,
you didn't tell me.
my health is
you didn't
great,
tell me that I
sir.
wasn't eating
I'm
right.
doing great. I'm eating celery right now.
Yeah, because you didn't tell me. I already knew. But I blamed you for it. But anyway.
Say, why are you asking me that question? Oh my God, it's Chase. And I was like, hey man, I love you, man. I'm just looking out for you. So here's the thing. And Tara said, can you share your resources? What are the resources that you've used in this journey that you would recommend to others if you had to talk about just solid resources on your journey?
Yeah, I mean, again, the internet seems to be full of different things you can look at. I mean, I would say this, that if you look up a recipe, you may have Dr. Sabi say something, you may have Yaki Awakening say something. You got to find something that you feel comfortable with. And I would not just stick to one particular way of doing it. I would just look around, do a little research first, and then once I do that, then I would go for it. So, like, I have my own what I eat. I like to do the juicing part. I do that maybe on Sundays, and you have to get all the supplies, the juicer. You got to strain it out, and then you have to do, so all that kind of stuff, and just different things I learned about watermelon, the rind of the watermelon, just all kinds of stuff,
Right.
And then once I started like getting my my regimen of what I wanted to eat, then that's when you'll take off. So
Right.
I would start off with, just get online, look up juicing, and find some juices that you want to try, and just try juices, different ones at a time, and try the dragon fruit. Go to the grocery store and get find the difference between the red dragon fruit, the yellow dragon fruit. Get a video. How do you prepare it? Cut it open, eat it out. Just go through each little thing. Find out, like, look at papaya. Look up what papaya, the benefits of papaya. Look up the benefits of eating papaya seeds. So I would just kind of like make a classroom thing out of it, and just look up each fruit. What are grapes good for? How much sugar is in grape? Because there's good fruit. There's fruit that has maybe too much sugar. There's nuts. So you got to kind of get involved organically and do a little homework, and it'll become fun.
Right. Absolutely. I've never seen you look so excited about talking about a burger and fries or chicken McNuggets. with a soda. I never heard you that excited. I looked at you. I never seen this before. Never seen it before. So I'm giving you your flowers 100%, you know? And along the journey, do you have a target weight that you want to get to?
Yeah, I think right now, I think I want to get to about 215, 220.
Right.
Yeah, 215, 220. And it's weird, like today, like we were talking about clothes. So my clothes, they, I just don't want to spend the money to get new clothes, but because I keep tightening up that belt. But my clothes, they're baggy. They're baggy.
Okay. Okay. And I want to say something else. I forgot to say this earlier. Remember when we used to speak a long time ago about you going out and walking with your dog? Bless his soul, he passed on. Not a big deal. I understand. I understand that, I respect that, that happening. Remember when we used to talk about that and I used to say, well, Clark, oh, hold on. Sorry, I got a phone call. Yeah. I used to say to you, well, Clark, you walk your dog every day. That's a mile every day. That's 2 miles every day. And you were like, yes, it is. Do you ever feel like you want to do that again? Like get out and walk? Because I would say you're driving more, right, than walking now? Would you?
Yeah, I mean, I started, of course, going to the gym. So,
right. I'm sorry, you go to the gym. Right?
So yeah, so I started going to the gym, and what I started doing was, you kind of felt like you kind of watch what everyone else is doing, and I was like, nah. So I started getting on the bike. So I would get on the stationary bike, and I'll ride, anywhere from 7 to 10 miles on that a day. And then I started doing the rowing machine. I'll get on the rowing machine, and the rowing machine is as you say, Chase, it's the joint. That rowing machine,
it's the joint.
Yeah, it works every part of your body. And then I do the ab machine, and then after I do the ab machine, then I'll start doing my series of my lower body parts, upper body parts. So everything you do, man, you just have to fit it into your schedule.
Correct.
No, and when you put it into your schedule, then everything is, it's real. Then you can't follow somebody else's schedule. You got to find out something that you like, because we talked about this earlier. Everybody's different. Try different juices.
Everybody's different.
Try different fruits. Try different nuts. Find out, what's essential about each nut. Go to the gym. Find out what, you may not like riding a bike. Find out what you like to do and just do something.
It's a lifestyle, Clark, and I'm going to bring you on again because I want to follow your journey. I just appreciate you being here, and I understand how difficult it was for you to start doing this. But when you got a specific thing that happened to you, we all change when something becomes a little bit too uncomfortable. When we think about it and we go, oh, nah, it's not for me. And then everybody has their reason and their want and their why and their so on and so forth. I just appreciate you, and I wanted to bring you on because I know you're on your journey, and I know we're going to revisit you again. You're going to be lighter. You're going to have more information. You're going to have more resources because you deserve to live fully, right? If not just for yourself, for your grandson who's just entered the world, right? The image he sees of you, the vivacity, the physicality that you show him. So I'm proud of you. And I know that not everybody would have come on this talk to talk about their journey. So I'm happy that you came on and you are introduced to the family here that I love called the Daily Huddle. And I'm going to bring you back on again. So I appreciate you, sir.
Can I say one thing, Chase?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So anyway, man, you know how we are, bro. We got to kick it around. So Maya Angelou has this one poem that it's real short.
Uh-oh, he's about to bring it out.
It's called The Lesson. And it reads like, it's real short. It goes, I keep on dying again. Veins collapse, opening like the small fist of sleeping children. Memory of old tombs, rotting flesh, and worms do not convince me against the challenge. The years and cold defeat live deep in the lines of my face. They dull my eyes, yet I keep dying because I love to live. Maya Angelou, because I love to live.
What is that called?
It's called The Lesson by Maya.
Oh man, I got to get that. I got to get that.
Angelou, baby.
I got to get that, man. Oh, that was beautiful. What a great way to end.
I love to live.
Oh, I love that. The lesson. Well, my good people, the time has had its way with us again, as you can see. Wow. You blindsided me with that poem. That was beautiful, man. Really, really beautiful. And by the way, I live in New York City. I can get watermelon. I heard you say, I don't know if you can get watermelon. I'm in New York City, my brother.
You can't get it like I can get it here, though. Let me tell you that.
I can walk around the corner and get it right. All right, I'll talk to you offline. I don't want nothing bad with you. I'm all love. I'm all love. Hey, man. Thank you all for joining us, everyone. Thank you, Clark, for being with us. As always, we end with our tenets. Our tenets are just some things you want to carry around with you in your back pocket as you think about life and everyday motion. First of all, love more. Please love more. My goodness, to be authentic with you, I had a tough morning this morning. Some stuff crept up in my head, and I was thinking about it, and it got me emotional, and I cleaned it up before I came to the huddle today. But I'm strong for this union of people because you guys empower me and you push me to be better as I release my information and take in information from you. So love harder, live out loud, laugh as much as you can. If you don't have anything to laugh about, go to YouTube and find anybody who's funny and laugh. Let your gut move. It's so powerful for you. You have no idea. Also, as I always say, give it a shot to eat plant-based. If the one day of the week you eat plant-based is all you can do it. Let your body feel that water, that relaxing of the intestine that happens when you just relax it. No heavy eating. Also, you know what's funny? My dad has called me 3 times during this recording. It's so crazy. Anyway, eat mostly plant-based 1 day a week. Sleep more than 6 or 7 hours a night. Please get some more sleep, my people. Sleep is essential. I had a terrible night of sleep last night, to be very authentic with you. The mind took me to another place, but I got up. I did it. I pushed forward, right? Also, stress less. Have people around you that keep you stressed less more often, right? Keep you stressed less, right? And also, you know what to do. Please check yourself before you wreck yourself. You matter in this world. How you show up matters. And don't let that toxicity get out into the world. Take it in first, let it out the way you need to, and go out like a shining star that you are. Thank you, good people. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Clark. You know I love you like a brother. And I'm going to have you back again. My good people, please have a spectacular day on purpose. It's out there for you, and somebody needs your light today. I promise you. I love you guys. Peace.
Great show. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Thank you. Thank you.
One love, guys. One love.